For Mother's Day in the UK, Kensington Palace released this photo of the Princess of Wales smiling and surrounded by her 3 children. It's the first photo we have received of her this year, or is it? Major news agencies, including the Associated Press, Reuters and others, removed the photo from their websites and issued a kill notice because, as the AP put it, it appears that the source has manipulated the image. Now, this was an image that we were told was taken by Prince William. Let's take another look. Seems normal to me, but if you look at her left hand, this had tongues wagging, there's no wedding ring. What's going on with Prince Louis's fingers? There is so much analysis of this photo. And can any of this be a product of artificial intelligence? Joining me now is royal reporter Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, this is kind of hilarious, I've got to say, the attention, the analysis of every little bit of the photo. But this photo was released really to put an end to all the conspiracy theories about Kate and the fact that we haven't seen her since Christmas Day. But talk about an own goal.
This is such a huge fail for Kensington Palace. The Princess of Wales's big debut should have been something carefully crafted, scrutinized, and strategized. I think there are 2 possible options here. I had one photographer tell me that some cameras take a series of pictures in rapid succession and create a composite, or simply a la Kardashian, where each child, photographed better with a different expression throughout the photo session, and someone tried to drop the highlights on to one image, creating errors. Kim Kardashian has become notorious for doing this on her social media, and it's something that you see happen quite often as technology and photography apps evolve. But it's, I really think that the palace has let the Prince and Princess of Wales down here. This is not a positive reflection on them. And it's, like you said, generating more questions, creating more chaos surrounding the state of the princess's health.
Oh, it has given birth to a whole new series of conspiracy theories. So the whole point of this photo appeared to be to say, Princess Kate is fine. All these concerns about where is she, what was the abdominal surgery about, why was she in hospital for so long, haven't we seen her all year? And you know what? I think there's now some weight to all those questions, Kinsey, because she is the most popular royal. She is the mother of the future king. She's going to be a queen. And I think though it's a private matter, you can understand why the public has great interest in her well-being.
It's just too many missteps at this point. We also have Uncle Gary on Celebrity Big Brother saying he doesn't feel comfortable commenting on the princess's current status, but when they announce it, he'll react. What are they going to announce? It's just little things like that. But when it comes, I did want to make one point that when it comes to this giant ring that we typically see the Princess of Wales wearing, Catherine, Princess Diana used to love to tease that ring was a menace. She actually owned 2 of her famous black sheep sweaters. The first one she sent back to Warm and Wonderful after her chunky sapphire got caught in and tore a giant hole. She asked them to fix it. They sent her another one. So I think that this ring is just kind of a mess, and she probably doesn't want to deal with it while in recovery.
Oh, and a lot of people take off their wedding rings throughout the day because, they get knocked about and they can be annoying. Now, some royal insiders are also claiming that Prince Harry has not reached out to his sister-in-law since she did have that 2-week stay in hospital for abdominal surgery back in January. But we've also hearing that ill feeling is mutual, with reports saying that Princess Kate wants nothing to do with him.
Well, when I saw we were going to be discussing this, Rita, my first instinct was to text you. Can you blame her? Can you blame her? I wouldn't want anything to do with him either, especially with how protective they're being around her health right now at this very moment. He's obviously an individual that you can't trust. He published word-for-word text message exchanges between the Princess of Wales and his wife, Meghan Markle, in his book Spare. He sold his soul. So yeah, I would not trust him. I wouldn't even trust him with a get well soon. I wouldn't take that phone call.
Well, yes, it would mysteriously end up in the newspapers or in a podcast or one of their other platforms. Now, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan, did make a surprise visit to the family of a teacher who was killed in the Uvalde school shooting in May 2022. Meghan led the birthday celebrations. She even sang happy birthday. And of course, the cameras were rolling.
All ready?
Sorry.
Hold it. Everyone's singing too.
Just you first and then we'll go after that.
One, two, three.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cloud.
This isn't the first trip the couple have made to Uvalde since that tragedy.
No, and the first time they did show up, there was so much negative reaction to it. And I've never seen this like not reported. I've always been under the impression that Meghan had a camera crew with her when she showed up there. And we anticipated to see that footage in the Netflix series. We never did see that footage. And I do believe it's because they received so much negative feedback around that trip. I want to believe that this is sincere, but I feel like I know better at this point. Why does she have to be the center of attention for such what's supposed to be a moment about somebody else? It feels like this is a shameless ploy ripped out of the Princess Diana how-to book. We saw Princess Diana, well, we actually never saw Princess Diana do these types of things. We'd hear about them years later from people that would say, yes, I met her in the hospital and then she showed up on my doorstep to check on me months later. It just feels like the Sussex is trying to hijack Diana's legacy again by copying things that she did in the past.
Now, the Oscars were held today. Oppenheimer won pretty much everything: Best Actor, Best Picture, Best Director, as expected. But the award for Worst Host, well, that one is one we can talk about. Jimmy Kimmel had plenty of detractors, including the former president.
I just got a review, and has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? His opening was that of a less than average person trying too hard to be something which he is not and never can be. Get rid of Kimmel and perhaps replace him with another washed up but cheap ABC talent, George Slopanopoulos. He would make everybody on stage look bigger, stronger, and more glamorous. Blah, blah, blah. Make America great again. Okay, now, see if you can guess which former president just posted that on Truth. Anyone? No? Well, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still watching. Isn't it past your jail time?
He kind of proved Trump's point there. That was about as funny as an ingrown toenail, Kinsey.
It's just kind of boils my blood to watch the elites kind of laugh at what there is a huge amount of Americans that love that man. He has cultivated a real loyalty, and he made a lot of pot shots at the right, not so much at the left. And there's plenty of material there. There's plenty. There were a lot of people fell down. A lot of people ran into things along the red carpet this year. There's your go-to Joe Biden, gag. But I just thought that was unnecessary. He was also very mean-spirited about Robert Downey Jr., who has paid his dues. And this should have been a night for him to really celebrate. And it was ugly of Jimmy Kimmel to bring up some of his past drama.
Yes, and there was also a bit of controversy with the activism that we always expect on these award nights. There were a few of the actors and even musicians were wearing these red badges, calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. How was that received?
I mean, it's not, I think that it's going to be received in my city. I think it's going to be fine. Probably plenty of high fives, but when it comes to the American public in general, we don't want to hear these people preaching at us. They don't have the same problems we do. It's not heat or eat when it comes to wintertime. It's not, they're not worried about the immigration. That's not a concern to them. So we don't want to be preached to by these people.
You're absolutely right there. Ricky Gervais said it best when he was hosting the Oscars a few years ago. Kinsey Schofield, thank you so much for your time this evening.